All right, it's time for a reaction video. I don't normally do reaction videos, but this came up on the Twitter or X timeline or whatever the hell you want to call it. Uh, from the day Krobo pointed this podcast out, and I wanted to take a look at it, and I figured, well, if I'm going to take a look at it, I might as well record it just in case I say something, I don't know, mildly amusing or funny. But what is this one called? The anti-diversity crowd. We must be talking about people like me, or anti-forced diversity. Big difference there. Exposed. Oh no, exposed. Oh boy. With Alyssa Mercante, which is, if you don't remember, the Kotaku editor who did the whole Sweet Baby Ink isn't what you think it is bullshit, and also made the wonderful statement of you cannot be racist against white people, who very quickly got community noted on that one from Water X, whatever you want to call it. So let's dig in here. All right, what is this? It's like 2 hours long. Trust me, I am not going to make you watch a 2 hour long video. I will just cut to around the things that I bitch about. Hopefully there's not much, right? All right, moving on.
Give a damn about a hater when I feel like it. Not today, not today, not today, not tomorrow. Get out my way, please, I'm trying to get paid. Not today, not today.
What is the Nerds of Culture podcast with the Blurred Without Fear? What the fuck is a blurred? Is that supposed to be Black Nerd? Really? All right, moving on.
You're contrary to the belief of some really crusty nerds. Not the good kind of crusty like we are. We're crusty because we're old. They're crusty because they're just terrible.
Already, barely a minute or two into their little podcasty thingy here, and already calling people who don't like them or don't like the diversity and inclusion bullshit crusty. Already with the name calling. All right, moving on.
Sweet Baby Incorporated, drama, controversy, whatever anyone wants to call it. And we actually were looking at one of your articles about this. So we wanted to have you here to kind of help give that extra insight. Because I feel like...
You mean the article that was full of absolute horseshit? The article that said nothing about Sweet Baby Inc. and what they actually have been doing since 2018. Okay.
Everyone's had a little bit of an overreaction.
A little. Gamers being unreasonable? What?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe gamers would be more reasonable if you told the truth and actually did what your title says is in, journalist type things. Not, you know what? This just isn't for you gamer people anymore. This is for us now. Fuck off.
Somehow, all at once, I am broke, being paid by Phil Spencer, being paid by BlackRock, being paid by Sweet Baby Inc., who has like 19 employees.
Trust me, none of us think you're being paid by anybody because we know the advertising money is fucking gone. We just think you're a shill. There's a difference. Being a shill doesn't mean you have to get paid. It means you get access as well.
For the diversity, equity, and inclusion movement, or DEI, as people like to call it, not actually knowing what it is. So here's, I think this is the...
But we do know what DEI or DIE is, you fucktard. It's real simple. It's forced inclusion and diversity. It's not saying, hey, if this person of color, black person, orange person, whatever, this gay person, lesbian or trans or anything of that nature, if they just so happen to be the person that is, the most qualified for the job, don't exclude them because they have these, for lack of a better word, characteristics. No, that's not what we're against. We're against people being hired that don't have the experience and don't have the desire to make good things simply because of their skin color, simply because of the whatever orifice they choose to stick whatever utensil in. We're not against people being hired when they have the talent for it. We're not against people being hired when they are the best option for the job. We are against people being hired simply on terms of their just because of what color they are or how they identify.
Most important question, more important than anything regarding Sweet Baby Inc. or Crusty Nerds. Here's the real question. How do you have time to do all that? And how do I sign up for it so that I can get paid by so many random people who aren't connected?
I mean, I wish I knew, because apparently, I signed a contract in blood while I was not aware of it, and there were multiple contracts, and now that's my other job on top of what I do for Kotaku. It's pretty impressive but that's how conspiracy theories and the people who peddle them work. It just spins out, and no one is even really consistent with the attacks against me right now. They're racially tinged because they think I'm Latina, but then they're also anti-Semitic because they think I'm Jewish. But then they're also saying that I'm anti-Semitic because I said you can't be racist against white people. And so it's just this kind of nothing's...
Okay, so we already have the evidence of you saying you cannot be racist against white people. Where's the evidence of you being racially attacked? I'm not saying there isn't any. It's a big wide internet out there, and I'm sure there are a couple of dumbasses that go, "Oh, she must be a oh, I hate this word, spick or wop or whatever. She must be all these horrible things and race. I'm sure there's probably a few dumbasses out there that have done that. But as far as conspiracy theory shit, well, the proof is in the pudding, darling. We have the receipts. We have the CEO of Sweet Baby Inc. telling people to terrify their bosses. We have the receipts. Moving on.
There's a couple of great things you can use on Twitter. That's Google Chrome plugins that will automatically block certain blue check spam accounts or people who don't have profile pictures or people who have brand new accounts that are obviously sock puppets that just automatically go into replies and block. I would suggest it's very helpful. And also you can set notifications so that you can't see anything from someone who doesn't follow you when they reply, which is also very helpful.
Yeah, it's helpful to set notifications so people can't, respond to you if they don't follow you. See, that way they're more likely to say exactly what you want to read on your Twitter line or text line or what the fuck ever. They're more likely to be exactly the kind of person you want them to be. Alyssa Mercante.
You're saying that this is racism against white people and that doesn't even exist. That's stupid. And then of course, look what that turned into.
Yes, there's no such thing as racism against white people. Just like there's no such thing as white people ever having been slaves before in the history of the world.
You remember that every time you say something, 500 more sock puppet accounts will pop up. It's like the butterfly effect. For every one tweet you make, 600 anime avatar Twitter account holders will show up.
So literally blaming the people who don't like what you had to say that are, pushing back against you. You are literally blaming them for the things that, your side of the aisle, political or entertainment-wise, have been doing for years.
Certainly not going to try and debate chuds in my replies.
Yes, she's not going to debate chuds in your replies. If you don't agree with her, she's not going to debate you. All right.
The internet is a place where you go maybe because you don't feel comfortable in the real world and you want to portray yourself as somebody that you may not be, or an even more blown out of proportion version of who you actually are in real life, which means the racism is ramped up if you're a little bit racist, and the homophobia is ramped up if you're a little bit homophobic, and you're kind of cosplaying as, that's the reason why they don't have their pictures and their real names associated with things. It's why when I was first in the Discord of this whole group in the first place, I asked flat out, just why don't you guys have your names associated with things? Because I want it.
We don't have our real names and pictures associated with things for a very simple reason. It's called swatting, even though it's fairly easy to find somebody's picture and real name, things like that. Even on this channel, my actual beautiful, beautiful bearded face is on camera in the earlier times. My name's not. Why? Simple. Because the people like you, the crazy fuckers, go off and call the cops and tell people we're doing bad things. We have hostages. We're going to hurt somebody. Blobbity, blobbity, blobbity. And the cops run in, and from time to time, whoever's streaming usually gets, scared, excited, or whatever, makes a wrong move, and gets fucking shot. So maybe that'd be a good reason why people don't put their pictures and real names on shit on the fucking internet. Something you shouldn't be doing fucking ever. Fucking morons.
And no one's gonna come show up at your house and crack you upside the head and go, "Don't say that. Don't say that online." And that's just how this goes. And it's this unfortunate side effect of the internet, and a doubly unfortunate side effect of a place like Twitter, which is now under the regime of a big giant clay divorced idiot.
Yes, Twitter or X is now under the regime of somebody who actually likes free speech and will not just ban people because fucktards like you say so. I know it is so horrible to have Elon Musk owning such a thing, to where now at least there is some kind of mild version of free speech online again.
We have this whole story written, but we have all these NPCs we want to have in this world, and they need to have lines, and they need to be colorful, and they need to feel right in this world, and they need to feel realistic. Can you guys write a bunch of like barks of an NPC being like, who goes there? Shit like that. And that's what Sweet Baby Inc. does. In some cases, they are hired by companies, by game studios who have a character that already exists that they've decided to put in the game. And they go, does this read right? Does this make sense to you? Mm-hmm. And that's what they do. And also, what's really important to remember is that they're a contractor. They're like a freelancer. They don't have any weight to throw around in these kinds of situations. They don't get hired by Insomniac and then tell Insomniac what to do. That's just not how it works. Because Insomniac's like, we're paying you to be here. We can stop paying you whenever we want.
Yeah, sure. The companies could literally just say, hey, piss off, go away. That is very true. They don't have to do what Sweet Baby Inc. says they need to do. That is very true. But I could very well imagine that if that were the case, and we'll use Insomniac, if Insomniac said, yeah, you guys are a little much for us, you know what? You can go ahead and leave now. We're done paying you. I have a very strong feeling that one of their employees would jump on Twitter, the place that you don't like because Elon Musk owns it, or X or whatever, and jump on there and try and get them canceled, banned, made go bye-bye, ta-ta, just like one of them did with Caputus and the Sweet Baby Inc. Detected group on Steam.
Is there something that they did that isn't indicative of everything they do, but they're mad at that decision and they made it bigger than it was?
I think it's a million things. I think why conspiracy theories get picked up in today's day and age, and it's because there are grifters who latch onto things that have social media followings, and they decide to make their personality for 2 weeks. And
I don't know. I think the idea that, seeing how we're gonna go with the whole, is there the one thing, we'll go with the killing Batman. We'll step off on that for starts. Being told that nobody from Sweet Baby Inc. worked on the narrative parts of the game, when that is in fact a complete lie, and they did. So they were involved in making the decision to off Batman. But we were all told, oh no, they did nothing but work on the barks, the NPCs saying random things, and things of that nature, when we know that was a flat out fucking lie.
There's already a natural diversification happening in games, because I don't know if anyone paid attention, but the attempt to do this 10 years ago didn't work. And
we're okay with natural diversification in games and media. It's the forced shit we're tired of.
people of color and women and queer people work in games now more than ever. So if you're a person of color or you're queer or you're a woman and you're writing game stories, maybe they kind of more reflect you a little bit because naturally that's how these things work. Maybe people are sensing that and they want a boogeyman to point to. It has to do.
But they shouldn't be reflecting you. You are making a character, okay? I am not a rich billionaire in a bat costume. I could not, in any way, shape, or form, put myself in the place of Batman if I was going to write a Batman game. I am not a former military person who had my wife and child killed and went on a rampage killing mobsters for years and years and years. So I could definitely not write a Punisher comic. I am not, I don't know, a factory made mutant with super duper healing powers that looks like Hamburger and carries around dual swords and dual guns. So I definitely could not be Deadpool, nor am I anything even remotely close to the things that I've always read and watched and played. I am not those things. It is not my job or the job of a writer to put ourselves in that and make it us. It is a fantasy. If you are so self indulgent that your personal life, what you believe, has to be the story, then you are a fucktard.
With the fact that, I don't think it's a coincidence that the people that they're attacking the most at Sweet Baby are people of color. Really easy to get angry at.
Of course, saying because the people that are being attacked, which aren't really attacks, at least if you are attacking them, don't be honest with yourself and be honest with them. The people who they're saying that are being attacked are literally just being argued with because people have a different point of view than them. And man, I sure did pause this on Crazy Eyes, didn't I?
At somebody online that you already are angry about in general for existing in your space or whatever, and that they dared the people at Sweet Baby to stick up for themselves, which, as I have now learned, daring to do that means getting dogpiled on like you would not believe.
Yes, daring to absolute flat out lie, daring to attempt to get somebody canceled themselves and then being called on it. How dare we all call them out on that shit?
We live in a late stage capitalist society that is slowly but surely collapsing in any place that it can. They go, where's my boogeyman? Oh, it's a Black woman who runs a company that works on games. And so I think it's just a perfect storm.
Let's see. Collapsing. No, I would say that if the free market is let to rule, things usually end up doing pretty well. If the people who make products listen to their customers and actually make what they want, normally, they make money. When companies such as video game companies or Disney, for example, movies, TV, whatever, don't do that, and they go on and use just their ideology as a compass of what to do and what not to do as far as making money goes, they usually don't, and we have bad economy.
It's not that, companies like Sweet Baby Inc. come along and say, yes, you're going to add LGBTQIA plus characters to your game now because I said so. And you're going to add a Black character and a Hispanic like no one's doing that. This is...
Okay, so I do kind of have to agree with, what is it? The blurred guy up there. I don't think that Sweet Baby Inc. goes in and demands that they add a character that's gay, trans, LGBTQ plus A, B, C, D, or whatever, missing a leg, I don't know, an eyeball out their ass or whatever. I don't really think that they go in and do that. I think that they go in and write these people or help guide them to terribleness. They guide them to make that character solely based on those physical characteristics, solely based on, well, racism, to be honest with you, or sexism, or whatever you want to, whatever character it is. They don't, like I said, I don't think they go in to force them to make a gay or black character or whatever. I think they go in and they guide them, for lack of a better way to put it, into literally just making it so it's more important to have the skin color or whatever than it is to have, I don't know, an actual character.
And this is not the 80s and 90s anymore, where you just have some stock a white guy and then everyone's white and everyone says, we talked about this a little bit with a recent splash page with art by Pepe Lorenz, and it's like,
yes, totally not the 80s and 90s, where there were many, 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 many black people in comedies, movies, games, TV shows. No, 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 no. It's not the 80s and 90s where black characters or Indian characters, whatever characters, were just written to be good characters and just so happen to be a different color than white. No, 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 no. Now it's, they have to be these colors and they have to be this and they have to be that. And if you're white, oops, and don't like it because it's forced, you're a racist. The guy's basically calling people racist for not liking the forced diversity shit.
Can you explain why that's bad? That we made sure this company used their infinite power to make sure that games had more representation in it. Like, no one can explain that, because they know what they sound like when they try to.
Oh, I can explain that one, maybe, kind of, sort of. And I don't care if you think I sound like a racist, because, well, I don't give a shit. It's very easy. As I've said numerous times, it's not diversity we are against. It is forced diversity. It is, if you start off saying we have to have a whatever character that's white, if we absolutely have to have that, then that's kind of in itself racist. At least in my small little world, anyway. To me, that feels a little racist to be like, hey, you know what? We're just gonna start off with a character that's, we're gonna start off with the characteristics of the character, not who they are, but what they are.
The people you surround yourself with look like you, and you want to watch things and play things and do things that look like you. And what's really funny to me is, right, them being like, I don't want your forced woke narratives into my games. So you're saying you want to be represented in games.
That's right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, right.
Is that, but we can, but they can't, I'm confused.
Yeah.
No, we're not saying we want to be represented in game. What people like me have said for the longest time is make the character whatever you want to. I can play as a female. I don't care. I can play as a black person. I don't care. Shit, dog, hell. I will even play as a trans person, even though I don't believe in that. But I'll even play as a fucking trans person if the character is good. If the character is written and designed to the point where those characteristics, because all they are is physical and crazy people, characteristics, if those are not the main point of a character, I will play and play and play. Don't care what color the character is. I don't care what sex the character is. It does not matter to me. It does not matter to the majority of gamers who just happen to be melanin deficient.
And
That sounds like inclusion.
That's right. But the cop out is this, all right? And the cop out is, no, I like representation. I just like it when it's done well and not forced. So it's like, okay. So the people who want it there, it's forced and bad storytelling. And the people who almost ubiquitously are white supremacists or...
Yep, see, right there. If you don't agree with the diversity, you're a white supremacist. You're a Yahtzee. If you think that having forced diversity is a bad thing and actually does actual harm against, I don't know, the people who are being diversified, you are a Yahtzee. You're a racist, of course. That is the argument that comes up every time. Every time. Oh, well, you're just evil because you don't like this forced shit. You're evil.
What did you do in writing this article to make sure you got it? Did you sit down? Did you talk to the people at Sweet Baby and other people? What did you do?
Well, I could tell you what she didn't do. She wasn't exactly honest in the article. Now, was she? She left some key things out, like, oh, I don't know, a Sweet Baby Inc. employee trying to cancel somebody.
I think that the people who made that Discord and who made that Steam page and who are arguing in my Twitter are kind of trying to act like, well, we're so clever because we made sure to take out language that made it clear that we didn't want Black people in games or didn't want people of color in games. We just said that we want to be aware of this company and aware of what games they're working on so that we can make an informed decision and blah, 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 blah. But it's like,
yes, we want to be aware of the people who are making the products we buy simply because we're all racist. That's it. That's got to be it. That is totally it. It's not that the majority of stuff that companies like Sweet Baby Inc. work on end up being dog shit. No. It's not that at all. It's because everybody's racist. That's entirely it. Everybody's racist because, they have nothing else to fall back on. Oh, and yes, and not putting on, not saying racist things also makes you a racist. How does that work? Because not everybody on that Discord would be smart enough to not do that. And at some point, even if they were, they would have to have all agreed not to do that. So, for somebody who thinks that we're all conspiracy theorists, sounds like a pretty little conspiracy theory to me, little lady.
Once you're in the Discord for 5 minutes and you see Marcus Aurelius posts and people posting like, big tittied anime girls next to like the women of Overwatch and Forspoken and going like, look at these uglies versus.
Oh no! People would rather look at big titty anime girls than regular nasty looking ones. Oh no! Well, gee, we do play games and stuff to be in a fantasy world. Most of us, hopefully, think of as in the majority, are well aware that not women walking around in real life are big titted anime girls. So if I can just look at the big titty anime girl on the screen and live the fantasy for a while, why not? Why is that bad? I don't expect the women around me be big titted anime girls. I expect the women around me to be normal, regular, everyday women. Beautiful and gorgeous in their own way.
Know that these are echoes of hate groups that have existed and still exist. And so I think really just spending the time that I did in that Discord.
Yep, because the Discord wasn't what she wanted, because she got called out in the Discord and kicked off the Discord for being disingenuous and a piece of shit. Of course, it's a hate group. Yep, it's a hate group because she didn't get what she wanted out of it.
And what's really funny is the people online are saying that we're all like, circling the wagon so that we can get our stories straight. But it's like, no, that's just what happened.
No, I don't personally think they're circling the wagons to get their story straight because they're all on the same side of the story anyway. So I don't think they're circling the wagons, but they sure in the hell aren't being completely honest, are they?
Dang it, we thought we were gonna get her.
Why is it every time they do a white voice, it's gotta be that redneck voice, can't be nobody else but that redneck voice? Why is it that people who claim racism seem to be the most racist?
Well, it was just a Discord and it was getting it was just a Steam page. It was getting reported and they were trying to cancel a Brazilian guy. And, all it was reporting, people just want to be informed consumers and that's all it was.
But somebody, the like employee was trying to cancel the dude. They literally put on Twitter that to report him for nothing for making a list, and they tried to get his Steam account banned as well. They literally tried to do that. So explain to me how that's not exactly what we've been saying.
Talking about how much we all hate straight white Christian men. Why do they think that? Because that's literally the world they live in.
No, you're not gatekept very well. You guys are pretty open about hating white people. So far, you've been pretty open about that, but thanks.
But it's an election year, and that's also why this is happening.
Yes.
This is
No, this is not happening because it's an election year, you stupid Ben. It's happening. It is literally happening because people are being lied to by people. That's why the customers are tired of they're tired of being called evil. They're tired. They're done. They're not standing for your shit anymore.
people need to rally up the base and get people angry. And how do you do that? You tell them that trans, black, lesbians with disabilities or are coming to take your games out of your house and turn your kids gay.
Yeah, how do you rally Trump's base? You do all the stuff you just said and not realize that even Trump himself has said stupid things when it comes to games, and the majority of regular people are gamers in some way, shape, or form, not mattering, what color or whatever they are. They're just regular people who want to play a good game. Yeah, that somehow works in a weird, twisted, fucked up way. Oh, okay. Finally, it's over. I'm not watching this whole fucking podcast. The hour of her was more than enough. I don't need any more time to see where these guys lie in the argument. Okay, I was getting there, but I kind of want to scroll through some of their comments here. And let's see what their comment section is like. Let's see. As usual, do of course go watch this podcast. Don't just take my word for everything. You may or may not agree with the things I have to say. So go watch their, what is it? It's on the Blurred Without Fear channel. The Anti-Diversity Crowd Exposed with Alyssa Mercante, the Nerds of Culture podcast number 16. Like I said, go watch it because, well, you may not agree with everything I have to say, and you may agree with some of the things they have to say. And thankfully, I only had to watch an hour of this shit. But anyway, let's see here. The amount of comments disappearing from this is astounding. Oh, comments are getting deleted, are they? See. Expect nothing less from someone that revels in victimhood. Yes, they seem to revel very much in victimhood. Let's see here. They don't believe in discussion, only proclamations. I don't know. I haven't. This is the first time I've seen them. I'll have to watch something else of theirs to make that determination for myself. Hateful comments. I have no idea. Okay, let's see here. Let's get out of there. Uh, let's see. Oh, I love how she leaves out that it's literally a Brazilian person of color Steam group. Maybe, just maybe, it's not about people of color, but just maybe it's about Sweet Baby Inc. being trash, which is what I've been saying since the beginning. And it all started due to SBI, Sweet Baby Inc., or one of their employees trying to take a person of color's Steam away, which is true. False, huh? How is it false? Tell me how it's false. Okay. What exactly is false? And some argument back and forth. Okay, let's just random. Ooh. Let's see here. 334. And the guy who made the Steam pages from Brazil, what people like her is really mad about is the gamers of every color, not just white males, are tired of this forced die in a medium that is supposed to be a break from reality. Yes, very well said. Guts 124. People are tired of being called racist and homophobes. Yes, we are. Just because they have a different opinion of what they like in the games they play. He's a black guy. Uh oh. As a black man who's been gaming and reading comics since I was 6, I enjoy when I see people of my ilk in comics and games when it's done right. Oh, careful, man. You're going to get called a racist. Oh, I'm so tired of almost every black character I see in games with the same haircut because programming black hair is hard. Oh, shit. I'm tired of being told that others who don't want my and our struggle that we don't know anything to go through. Goodbye. Yeah, of course. The people just more or less going, "Oh well, you you're bad because you don't agree with us." So there's a lot of people on here that are being like, "Hey, you guys are full of shit. We're calling you out on it," and a good amount of their replies are the same basic bullshit that we're used to. The whole, "Oh well, yeah, you don't agree with us, so you're the bad words. You're lying. Nothing is on screen. We don't have the receipt for, the Sweet Baby Inc. people trying to cancel someone. We don't have the receipts for the Sweet Baby Inc. people or a CEO literally going out and saying to make the people afraid they're in power position, so they hire people like us. No, we don't have any of that shit on receipts. We don't even have on receipt an ex Sweet Baby Inc. employee saying that they worked for EA, by the way. It's been uh, they saying that she doesn't hire white people because she's uncomfortable around white people, even though statistically she should be more uncomfortable around her own kind. But that's neither here nor there, now is it? No, no, no. Anyway, if you actually stuck along around this long, I'll thank you very much. I will see you, boys and girls, later on. Bye bye.